Okay, guys. Not sure if I was unmuted the whole time, but anyways, we got things going. Uh, and yeah, welcome back. We are looking at the second last match of the day. We have an important one for each of the players. Paul wants to get onto the scoreboard and maybe give himself an outside chance to get into some type of playoff to go through. Of course, he needs to get on the scoreboard, so it will just be a psychological fight for him right now. And Johannes, he needs to try to secure himself a position, at least into a playoff, I would say. So both sides have stuff to play for. Paul has Johannes has got the white pieces. Paul has got the black pieces. We did the drawing of colors off air, and yeah, so everything is quite clear. Welcome back. Oh yeah, welcome back to my special guest for the commentary, Vero. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Excited.
Okay, so your audio is again a bit loud. I don't know if you should just talk louder into your, because sometimes yesterday it also did that way. Talk a bit louder, then it starts booming again. So, but
Okay,
anyways, we'll sort that out just in a moment. For the players, let's just do the randomization of the position. I'm gonna click this time. I'm gonna click 5 times. Last time I said 3. Let's see. 1, 2, 3,
Oh, would have
4,
been nice to have
5. Yeah, 2 would have been nice. So anyways, that's our position we have. And yeah, players, you can get yourselves ready, and Johannes can start the clock whenever he's ready. Make sure you mute yourselves and you don't hear us. So Johannes, you can go. Good luck, guys. So Vera, what's happening? What is this?
What's my audio now?
Audio looks good, yeah. Audio looks good.
Awesome. Okay.
Okay, let me just make sure the players are muted. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so what's up?
Yeah. It's been
A
Group
minute.
B has been a Shark Tank, eh? Everybody's been just fighting for survival.
Yeah. And I mean, like I said, Paul is even with still an outside possibility. Because you know what, I would have preferred if Paul take off his earphones, but I'm sure on this show we're all gonna be quite how shall I say? We all decent civilians. So
Yeah.
so I'm sure Paul is not listening to us. So anyway, but yeah, no, like I said, Paul actually has an outside chance, because if he beats Mabu, then the both of them is on a 1. And Craig is still on 1 as well. And Watu is on 2 out of 2. So if Watu beats Craig in the last round, then there will be 3 people on 1. And still some possibilities. What did you say?
What do you think about Bishop, Dragon Bishop to H5 now?
Dragon Bishop to H4, yeah. Or immediately for white.
From white side, yeah.
Dragon Bishop to H5 would have been an interesting one. But couldn't you play knight e6 to cover?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe 96 to cover. But interesting. I mean, we've seen some cases where the Dragon Bishop completely shocks the opponent by maybe a check, and then you don't have an obvious way to block the check. So should always look out for these type of things. So c3 played, covering the d4 square. Maybe white will also play g3. Just to repeat again, guys, Mabusela is playing with the white pieces. Paul is playing with the black pieces. And then on the other hand, Vero, that's the one scenario where the 3 players could be tied on 1. On the other hand, if Mabu wins this game, he gets to 2 out of 3. And if Craig beats Watu in the last match, then you have 3 players on 2 again. So then there's another 3-way playoff to see who's the top 2 going to be. So there's lots of...
How does the playoff work?
So if there's playoffs, then I think there's 2 blitz games that you have to play. And if there's a tie, then you play an Armageddon game. So for a 2-player playoff, it's 2 blitz games, 5 minutes aside with a 10-second increment. And then if there's still levels, the score is still level, then we go Armageddon. But if there's a 3-way tie, then we need to, there's some specifics set out that I spoke to Lorenzo earlier about, where we draw some lots and see who plays first. The 2 players play against each other. And then if player A beats player B, then player B should play player C. And if player C then beats player B, then player B is obviously out. If player B lost to both guys, then he's out.
Yeah.
And then the last two play just to see who will top the log, basically. But if player A beats player B and player B beats player C, then player C and player A need to still play to figure out what's happening. It sounds a bit confusing, but I'll just go over things. But the three-way playoff will be a bit more games for us to see. Let's see if it gets there.
This might be the tightest tournament in chess history. Wow.
It's quite tight, yeah.
Yeah.
It's tight.
So what do you think about the positioner?
Okay, Paul.
Yeah, I was wondering that F3 looks a bit not to my taste.
What would you have played instead?
Yeah, it's difficult to say actually, but F3 is a bit...
Yeah, if you look at the position very quickly, then Black has played more natural moves.
Yeah, so maybe you could have played knight to F5, and then it's a bit more difficult to go to chase that knight away because your bishop is on H7, dragon H7. Yeah.
So yeah,
it's not easy.
And Paul covers that square now with knight E7.
Yeah. So, and you could have even tried to castle queenside and just go G4 as well, and no. But okay. It's not quite fair to judge on the first few moves, though.
But a lot can happen in the first few moves. But true. It still looks a bit. I mean, these two guys are, I guess, trying to just get their pieces out and get into a position. Whereas the other more experienced players, you could see them trying to gain more space more quickly. So, for instance, Craig, we saw earlier on in his games, try to expand quite quickly. What to also try expand it against Paul early on, and Henry as well. Henry also tries to expand when he can in the center. So it's a tricky balance. I mean, you want to push forward in the opening, but you must also consider the development sake and so on.
Yeah, no fair.
Knight to G6. Nope, maybe not. Paul is rethinking things.
Knight to G6 seems okay, kind of.
Seems reasonable, but it's maybe looking at that F5 square.
Oh yeah, okay. Immediately would. No, but G7 is still defended, and
It's maybe just a psychological thing. Do you want to allow the knight to go stand there for a moment or two? Instead, castles.
He's looking at F5 now.
Wait a minute. Is that knight F5 correct here? Knight takes F5, pawn takes. That's an interesting choice here by Mabu. And played quite fast.
Yeah, so
not too sure about this one.
He's somehow counting on the dragon bishop defending this F5.
But I don't see what is happening afterwards, because you can't even play F6 after that.
Why not?
Because the dragon bishop on D8 is still covering F6.
Oh yeah, okay.
I mean, if black captures on F5 and you play E takes F5, the knight moves somewhere. F6 is not possible. And there's some awkwardness on the B1 H7 diagonal, the queen on B1. So probably white needs to play dragon C2, right?
So maybe he just wasn't ready to face F5 himself.
Maybe.
But playing it so fast though, that's not something that to be recommended.
Yeah. But okay, after takes, you go dragon C2, you move your knight to F2 or something, you try to continue like this. Black also has some awkwardness with his queen on B8 versus the dragon on G3.
I'm actually looking at knight takes D6 as well, and then capturing on E5 with the dragon bishop.
Okay, so sacking knight for 2 points.
It taps the queen, doesn't it?
At almost, but the queen can go to D7.
No, but oh, you can't go forward then.
Yeah. There we go.
Man, you should have just played along, man. Like,
Okay, so knight f5 is making the guys think. Both of them are pondering what to do next. Crucial moment, because the structure can
so
change.
This is what I expected from Mabu before he played knight to f5.
What did you expect from him?
To also have just a moment and to think about things.
Yeah.
How life is going and so on.
a5, a very curious move here. Thank you to Decimal for following. Welcome to the show. The score, this is our second last game for the day. We are in Group B is playing today. So the scores right now, Watu Kobese, I am Kobese, he's on 2 out of 2. And Craig Wallenberg, he's on 1 out of 2. The two of them are playing in the last match after this. And Paul is on 0 out of 2 right now. And Johannes is on 1 out of 2. So that's the situation right now. If Paul beats Johannes right now, he equalizes the score with Johannes. But Johannes would love to score now and get on 2 out of 3 and a highly likelihood of him going through. So all four technically still have the opportunity to qualify to the knockouts next weekend. Knockouts start next weekend, Saturday. Also Saturday and Sunday we will be playing, guys. Semi-finals and finals, and third and fourth position will also be played out.
Yeah. So f4 looks like a decent move to me.
I like f4.
It
can you tell me why a5 though, by Paul?
Okay. So a5, right? Okay.
Okay, that required a nice intro.
I'm just give me a second.
Because a5, I mean, is I'm not sure.
Yeah, I definitely don't know what a5 is all about.
Maybe a5 is more psychological. You play knight f5, I show you you can't do anything to me. I'll play a random move. I'm kidding.
That might be. I mean, seeing weirder things.
a5 does open up for queen a7, perhaps.
Yeah, at least that. But it's a very easy check to block, and then I don't really see why you would want your queen on a7 anyway.
Yeah. So a bit curious over there, but let's see. f4 played, and Johannes looking for some active play immediately. I like that idea.
Yeah. It also does the previous idea of sacrificing the knight without sacrificing the knight now. Now you can just take on e5 and putting that queen under a lot of pressure.
Yeah. So you need to solve that one now. So in an ideal world, white would want black to capture on f4, then knight takes f4, knight takes f4, and dragon takes f4 with d4 coming up at some point. Paul plays knight g6.
Yeah. So that's a...
I like knight g6. It's hitting f4 and forcing white now maybe to capture on e5, and then he'll recapture with a pawn, trying to keep the stronghold on e5.
But you can also try for Desperado and take on h6. I'm not sure about that though, but
h6 and then f5, possible.
Yeah,
definitely possible. That will weaken up the king side of black, so that's something to look at. I just have the feeling white just needs to get his queen into the game, and then he'll start being happy. Do you play dragon c2 and queen d1, or do you try to get your dragon closer in another way? Maybe dragon h5.
Yeah, I was actually looking more towards dragon f5 move, since black still has a dragon bishop in his way, so you can't count it immediately.
Yeah, Bungie also suggests knight h6 and then f5. Yeah, that's what we were looking at. Possibility.
Oh no, if Bungie suggests it, then you know it's some real stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
On this stream.
that move is not gonna bounce back.
Yeah, this is um, coming with Dragon Alpha Zero moves here.
You've got your life support. You've got your support,
Yeah.
Bungie.
Wait, was that a pun? I just
That was fully intended. Glad you've made
okay,
it. Welcome, welcome.
man. That's now you see, like I don't judge you for that. I'm happy to take that in.
Okay. Okay, that's good.
So that my puns, I worked so hard on it. I spent the whole night trying
Okay.
to figure out
And you're
what
in
would
you're in the
that
process.
Kelvin
You're
would
training,
appreciate.
and we appreciate it. You are in the training, and you need to first get the how shall I say the semesters in your in-service training, and we will qualify
Oh,
you. By the time the next Paradigm Chess study hits, you will be qualified to use your puns as you please,
okay.
without violating any laws. So
I'll
yeah.
hold you to it. Can somebody write this down? Clip this part. Just make sure he knows about it the next time we come on. Uh, but okay.
So what happened? Mabu took on e5, takes on e5, takes on e5, and okay, the position is more cleared up. Buba IBC says one day you'll become a big pun. Yes, that's what we played on last time as well. That's what Vero actually called me. So, ooh, knight takes e5. Is d4 coming?
Oh yeah, that can work.
So we've been looking at different ways to sack the knight, and Mabu shows us a different knight to sack.
So wait. After d4, oh no, okay, no, it doesn't work.
d4. Okay, so in this way, white gets to free up his position with the d pawn.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
black can go. Can't black go dragon c7? I don't know if this is the best way that Mabu chose, because dragon c7, you take on e5 and black establishes the square on e5. Okay, the knight on f5 is still powerful. I mean, at least in this, the advantage this way is white still has the powerful knight on a5 instead of having to sacrifice it.
Yeah. So
I can see.
I'm also trying to kind of get rid of it. That e6 knight is somehow very annoying, defending all of the things that I want to do on the king side.
So if you take on e5, right? Dragon takes e5, we take on e5, queen takes e5, and maybe dragon f3. And we kick the queen, and then it doesn't get to hold the square for too long.
Yeah. But then that check on c5 at least.
Ah, okay.
Comes into for rescue.
Okay. So what does the white do here?
So maybe instead of dragon f3, you can try dragon
g4.
G4, yeah.
Dragon g4 is also possible. The check might happen anyway, but okay, we just slide over to h1, and yeah. Still seems like with the knight on f5, there's still a lot of ideas for white. And I mean, I think what Mabu is using that toothpick of his just to prove to everybody that he's the fastest in the West. Or I don't know if it's East or whatever, but he's the fastest gunslinger.
He's getting the most out of that toothpick line.
Yes.
I think it's
the previous, I think he's not getting the most now yet, but the previous match he was literally abusing that toothpick.
No, I saw that. Like, how do we know it's a different toothpick?
Let's just hope it's a new one. So dragon g4 is on the board, the queen is hanging.
Yeah.
Are we gonna see queen c5 check? What else? I mean, black needs to save some time here. Queen c5 check, maybe rook d8. Is there anything to worry about?
You might even consider going dragon back to e3 after queen c5 check.
Ah, possible. I like that idea. So he doesn't do that. But that was nice, just to save some time and to
Yeah.
continue. Yeah, I like that idea.
The only thing missing now for white is the queen on b1. Yes.
Yeah, the queen needs to be on g3 or something like this.
Yeah.
So queen, let's say queen d3 next. But black can play rook d8 now. Okay, the dragon bishop on h7 is kind of dead for now, but it's waiting for its time to come out. It's also not a bad defender at all. So
Yeah.
black still looks relatively solid with his dragon bishop on h7 and knight on e6. And white does have an isolated pawn on e4, so that could be something to look at in the future.
Yeah, actually, I think that that h7 dragon bishop is it's the equivalent of having a knight on the rum, right?
Yeah,
Because
maybe, yeah.
it's
I get you.
don't quite see what you're going to do to get that thing back in the game.
Now that's just something for future reference, like it's not useful right now.
Yeah.
Bungie says queen c1 for white, maybe.
Okay.
Okay, Paul played the rook a to e8. So he's going to focus in the center and on the king side. The chat is saying queen c1 or queen e1. So the chat is thinking about getting the queen closer. What would you play, Piero? I'm thinking queen c1, queen e1, maybe queen d3. But I mean, those two, queen c1 at least keeps an eye on the king side pawns immediately. But where do you go from queen c1 to... Not sure where. Queen e1, you could go to g3 or h4. So that also looks decent.
Just practically I like the queen e1 better, but it looks like it's also lining yourself across the rook.
Queen d3 also a possibility, I guess.
Oh yeah, that too. But I'm actually just trying to see if there's nothing immediate that can be sacrificed or anything like that. Because if you, for instance, take on h6 now, you can get the fork in, but it's not. Wait, what? No, that's not the check. Oh,
yeah, it's not a check.
If that was a check, it would have been made, right? If you take on h6, g takes.
Oh yeah, that was a check that would have been made. But I remember the h7 dragon is still covering the f6 square.
Oh yeah, because it goes to the side.
So is there some hidden defensive possibilities still there for?
I thought it was going forward first, but yeah.
Yeah. So Bungie says queen c1, knight h6, followed by rook f5. Whew. Okay. And lots of fun afterwards, he says.
And yeah, that's.
He just delivered, or he just offered you a fun package, Vero.
Yeah, no, that move
small
is
combo. Queen c1, knight h6, and rook f5. The rook on a1. I say as soon as that rook on a1 is part of the attack, it's close to the end of the game.
Yeah, you kind of need to be sure now that like you don't burn too many bridges as well if somehow the pieces are exchanged.
Yeah, well, Mabu taking his time here, so maybe a crucial moment for that. Paul, on the other hand, I mean, he's rock solid, and his structure is better. What is Black's game plan here? The Red Forest, welcome. He says White's rook on a1 looks lonely, needs to be activated, definitely.
Yeah, you know, I'm not exactly sure what Black should be doing, but it's just holding maybe. But I think if you can just go, you can even play normally for White to some extent. Queen c2, rook to e1. Just make sure the dragon bishop stays where it is.
Yeah, and the knight on f5 gives him a nice, comfortable edge, I think. And but Mabu goes something completely different. Yeah, the knight on f5, only a knight on f5. A knight on f5 is called a dragon slayer. Thanks, Vero. We have to thank Vero for that one.
Knight on e6 is called the Kraken.
Knight on e6, the Kraken. Wow.
Yeah, like the octopus thing.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So we're gonna have to learn some theory over here, guys. Yeah, Vero, you might have to write a book with some notes.
What is this all about?
Yeah, I was gonna say, this is completely unexpected. Mabu trying to keep White Is it trying to keep black maybe busy on both sides? But doesn't that just open up the d4 square for future reference? After pawn takes,
Yeah.
d4 square could be...
Yeah, just outright confused.
The
right
red
now.
forest says b4, just plain and simple, looks bad. Yeah, definitely not expected here.
Like, can't
c3
what
is
happens
also
if you
hanging.
just take the pawn? Take on c3.
And Paul is hovering over the c3 pawn right now.
Oh,
And he
rook
grabs.
f3 instead.
He grabs, and Mabu instantly takes b takes a. Okay.
Oh, okay, I guess.
Rook f3, queen takes b4 was there. So b7 is also hanging. I mean, it's not everything for free. Rook f3 is in the air as well.
Yeah, but now I feel like he's been he didn't take as much advantage as he should have done.
Yeah, the position was relatively stable. We couldn't see, but maybe black was thinking about knight g5, eh? Imagine you play queen c1 or queen e1 or queen d3. Maybe with that situation, black could play knight g5 and start putting pressure on white.
Yeah, fair. But if you did a slow way and just went queen c2 and
rook a e1, yeah.
Yeah,
that would be solid and yeah.
You have enough time to do something slow.
Yeah.
And then
okay. Forrest is saying knight g5 now. Knight g5 stops rook f3 as well. It's e4. Interesting idea. Okay, white can take on b7, but then we take on e4, and things might just swing around. Once that e4 pawn drops, the knight on f5 is going to be less solid, and that f2 square could creak with a black knight on e4. Okay, the dragon bishop still covering it, but still.
I think that is almost the best you could have given Paul now.
Yeah.
At least now he can play for something.
Yes,
I think not be better yet, but he can at least do some stuff now.
I think the game is wide open here. It can go anyway.
Yeah. He's basically completely developed as well.
Yeah.
Although the rook on f8 is not doing his part, but pieces are out at least.
Yep. And technically structure is also better, so.
Yeah. You can also consider going for something like knight to d4 and just taking that knight away from that square.
Try to get rid of that strong knight, basically. Knight c5 is also a possibility, but I feel like rook f3 is going to come in.
Yeah, it feels like, yes, Paul just got so many opportunities now.
Yeah, I think knight g5 is nice, what Forrest suggested. Yeah. And Paul is hovering around g5 square. Knight g5 played. Now Mabu is going to feel the pressure here. e4 pawn is hanging.
Yeah, I think he's going to work that toothpick right now.
Yeah.
For some motivation.
And Mabu grabs. He's hovering over b7. And he's not interested in the e4 pawn. He's just grabbing where he can. So knight e4, and then what happens?
I'm actually not sure why he's allowing this. Maybe he's just trying to push that a pawn down the road. But
yeah, look, after knight e4, then the knight on f5 is still covered. The f2 square is covered, so maybe white is okay. Booba ABC says rook e4 instead. Rook e4, hitting the dragon bishop.
I was about to say you can also go rook takes e4 and just bring the other rook into the game as well. But yeah, if you hit the dragon, that's even better, right?
So, yeah, so that's an idea.
Man, it feels like half of the things we're saying can be movie titles.
Like what?
Hitting the dragon.
Yeah.
The dragon, like everything that ends with dragon could be a movie title.
And rook takes e4 is on the board. So what do you do with your dragon bishop? Dragon bishop still has some responsibility to defend the knight on f5.
Yeah, you probably need to check first and then move the dragon bishop.
But where do you move the dragon bishop to? That's the problem. Maybe a knight e7 check, king h8 and dragon d7. With a discovered maybe on the rook on f8. And hitting c6.
But
knight f...
Because are you discovering against the king?
No, just discovered against the rook on f8. If the knight on e7 moves.
Oh yeah, I see.
Yeah.
No, but isn't the rook going to be on e7?
Oh, do you think black is going to take the knight on e7?
Yeah, I'm saying if you check and then go...
oh, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Then the rook e7 afterwards. Oh, I see. Yeah, so we're trying to find a square for the dragon.
And this is a really... This game can give you a proper workout, eh?
Yeah.
You sleep soundly at night when you're done.
You need to unleash the dragon, basically. So I'm pretty sure Cisco will be good at this variant. Yeah.
Let's keep to the chess, man.
So anyway, Mabu. Whoa. Mabu plays rook ac1 in between move.
Okay. Yeah, that.
So how about, I'm gonna just randomly think, what about the queen takes rook? Queen takes rook, rook takes queen, and rook takes dragon. Is that possible?
Yeah, that seems very possible.
But still, the pawn on c6 might drop, and then that outside pass pawn can become dangerous.
Yeah, or you can start off by capturing just the outside pass pawn.
Queen takes a5.
Yeah.
Okay, that's also possible.
Then you're threatening to still take the dragon,
and the knight's also hanging now, or more under pressure rather, not hanging yet.
Yeah, so Paul might be very
happy.
Paul
is looking good. Paul is looking good. Okay, and the toothpick actually reappears. I thought it was gone, but it actually was there all along.
Yeah, it's a real toothpick never leaves your side.
So rook, the red forest says rook f4 would have been interesting for black there. Rook f4, interesting. Yeah, then the rook on c1 can't take immediately. But I mean, what would you have been threatening with that one? Oh, rook takes f1 maybe. Yeah, looks like an interesting idea. And Mabs is under pressure here. What to do? Knight e7 check.
You can probably just take back with the other rook, but it does look interesting. It's a nice idea to have there.
Let's say knight e7 check, king h8, and dragon to where? d1 maybe. Or knight e7 check and then knight takes c6.
Okay. So it's actually getting.
It's super.
Then I'll just take the pawn on a2 as well, and then
we continue the rest of the game on the king side, basically.
Yeah, and there's no draw offers, right? So
no draw offers.
Quite a long game.
Knight e7 check happens.
Okay. Yeah, it just happened on my side as well. So just to confirm that you did see what you saw.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Sometimes I see stuff and then it doesn't happen actually.
Yeah.
King h8 is on the board and Paul plays knight c6. Okay, so the queen a2 is possible, what you said actually. And black is up a pawn, eh? Black is up a pawn after queen a2.
It definitely is.
What are we going to see then? Dragon to d7 perhaps. Just hitting the rook on f8.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that because I'll probably go dragon to e4.
Dragon to e4. I'm not seeing what you see.
So after takes on e2
Takes on
and
a2.
takes on a2, yeah.
Yeah. Dragon
What
d7.
did you want to do? Dragon to d7,
Yeah.
right? And oh no, I was a bit too fast. I wanted to go rook e2 and then
Ah. Yeah,
start
just to get
going
counterplay.
dragon.
It looks super, super dangerous. I mean, black just needs like 2 moves in order to get that attack going. So I got the
And
same feeling that the white king can be in super danger as soon as the dragon on h7 gets into play. Dragon d7 is played, the rook is hanging. Where to put the black rook? a8, g8. Or do you ignore it? Which one? Okay, and Paul is trying to go back with his rook. I kind of like that idea because he wants to play dragon to e4.
yeah,
Yeah, even
well,
in the chat here, they saying rook e2 was still interesting, Vero. So your idea, just sacking the f8 rook, but then rook g2 and maybe rook h2 is, I mean, that looks super dangerous. That was a possibility.
the only problem I had with that is that your after you capture on f8, the other dragon is
Ah, and you can take the dragon on h7. But still, rook takes h2 and queen g2 would be mate. You don't need the dragon bishop to mate. So
yeah. If you can get it in, then
yeah.
of course.
So knight
So
b4 played now, hitting the queen. Black obviously wants to get in dragon bishop to e4.
yeah, it looks even tastier now, doesn't it?
Yeah, black seems to be looking very solid here. Black is
So
gonna
by the way,
bounce. Yeah.
if this tournament becomes over the board again, are you guys going to try to still stream it? Because it's
a possibility.
Yeah, it would be. At least I enjoy when you guys are streaming and I can just.
That would definitely be a
nonsense.
possibility. We actually want to start. It would be nice to stream some over the board normal chess tournaments as well.
Yeah, exactly. Especially the Cape Town tournaments or South African stuff where you can.
Definitely. So we can probably start doing that as well if we to sort out a few things.
So what does black do? What does white do now?
White is in a pickle here. He's pinned. His knight is pinned. Black's queen is standing aggressively. Dragon e4 is a threat. You so go maybe dragon c6.
Yeah, dragon c6 now.
Dragon c6, rook e6.
You're chasing the dragon.
Yes. Dragon to b5. And dragon to e4 looks still good to me, threatening mate in 1. You don't want to be chasing the dragon. You want to be chasing mate. Dragon to e4 is happening. How do you stop mate? It's getting very, very dangerous for the white king. Whoa! Rook c2. Dragon takes c2. Oh no, the queen is protected on b5.
Oh wow, okay.
Things are heating up. White's position still feels a bit shaky. The dragon, okay, so the rook on e8 is hanging. Things are happening. In fact, that might just be a very nice counter. Because everything is kind of protected.
So, after dragon takes c2, what did you say?
Knight takes c2.
You just take with a knight, okay?
Yeah.
So if I recapture, you just take my rook then.
Yes.
Okay. You're just being a bully right now.
And now what to do? Things are swinging up and down here with the momentum. If black moves the queen somewhere where it doesn't threaten anything, do we just take on e8? Is there a move that black can play with his queen to threaten something?
I would have loved it if I could retreat somewhere and attack the rook on f1.
f1, yeah.
Something in that
possible. Oof. That's a nice move by Mubs. It's a nice move, and he's starting to talk to himself.
Yeah.
It's either a good sign or a bad sign. You know, when you start talking to yourself, it's either you're close to death or you're just happy about something. So, what's happening?
Yeah, this is a bit of a complicated scenario happening. Yeah. Hmm. Okay, wait. Okay, maybe you can try to go queen to b3, and after dragon takes rook, you go queen to h3, or
Ooh,
no, that
okay.
doesn't really work. But
Oh,
maybe
why not?
some idea
Why
like
doesn't it
that.
work? Oh, because the
I
rook
think
on
the
c2 is still covering.
yeah,
Rook on c2 is a monster defender right now, eh?
yeah, that was very creative by Mabu.
Queen b3 is
But
on
he
the
goes
board.
queen to b3.
So are we going to see
Okay.
dragon takes e8, rook takes e8, queen takes e8, and king h7?
I mean that.
And then white's attack is kind of slowed down, and black still is lurking around. I would say the knight on b4 is a bit loose then.
I feel like
Whoa, rook to e2, hitting the dragon and putting more pressure on the e8 square indirectly. Those two rooks are covering the white king very nicely over here.
yeah. I'm actually wondering, does no, it's really tricky right now.
And you
Because
know
I
what
was thinking,
Mabu is doing? Mabu is putting more practical pressure on Paul here. Instead of taking the one thing, he just adds another threat. So now the
yeah,
threat of rook takes dragon bishop, and there's a threat of a dragon bishop takes rook on e8. And Paul needs to somehow you can't go. Can you go dragon to d6 and attack the queen and kind of defend e8? Yeah, dragon d6 looks interesting.
no, what about just rook b8?
Rook b8 knocking the queen. Dragon takes b8.
Oh my word. Okay.
Yeah. But dragon to
Right.
d6. Rook
Okay.
takes e8. Rook takes e8. I kind of think is this a possibility? Dragon d6. Because then white
Um,
can't take on e8 again because he can take. But then no, then he
oh,
can't
rook
take on
takes
it.
d6. Okay. Now, yeah,
Um
that's also a decent move. You just get your rook out of the attack.
yeah.
Now, the other rook is hanging, but I'm assuming you probably don't want to um, give up the dragon that easily.
And still in some cases the knight on b4 will be pinned. You know. Can you afford to play? Okay, so if rook takes bishop on e4, then black will play rook takes bishop on d7, right?
Yeah,
Or what?
sure. Um, yeah, that, or you can recapture with a knight to some extent as well. Then you
Yeah,
might be,
and Paul is thinking about this. And
yeah.
now he's hesitating. Can't we just play rook takes dragon on d7?
Um,
That's what he
well,
does. That's what he
yeah,
does.
you can do that. But the other thing about knight takes is that you threaten to take the dragon next, and after that capture the knight on b4.
Okay, so it's a normal chess position, by the way. Queen takes rook on d7, knight takes e4, queen e7.
Wait, what? You
Queen,
said
okay, queen
queen
takes rook
e7.
happens, knight takes rook,
Okay.
queen e7, knight f2 check, king g1. And does black have something there? Oof. It's happening on the board. It's on the board, Vero.
So, hmm.
There's a nasty
No,
double attack. Rook
I kind of.
b8.
Oh yeah, that kind of works. I'm also kind of hoping that maybe I wish that when you capture the dragon
Knight
bishop,
c6.
some other piece needs to become a dragon. It's like
Oh,
I he needs to earn the title of being a dragon. Because
Okay.
I like the dragon pieces now.
Let's see if Paul can convert this. This looks more like a draw to me. What do you, 3 versus 2? Let's see if Mabu has the technical ability.
Don't you just exchange and you can't capture on F7 yet, right? So
yeah, can't take an F7 yet. So now, yeah, sometimes it can be slightly tricky, but I mean, will be good to see.
Okay. I think this one is easier to draw than the 4 versus 3, right?
What is Mabs doing? Is he talking to himself or what? Mabu, can you hear us? Let me just pause here quickly because they're talking.
No, it's me talking. I'm asking how do I overdraw? Okay, I don't know how to do it yet.
Yeah, Paul, can you hear us as well? Paul, can you hear us? Paul, can you just let me just talk to the both of you?
Yeah.
Maybe text him or something.
Paul, can you hear us? Let me just make sure Paul is with, because there's no draw offers.
There's no draw offers. So,
yeah, remember, guys,
we just play on.
There's no draw offers, either repetition or you play it out, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, you can just take.
Paul says yes.
Just take your headphones off, guys. Take your headphones
off. No, come. Okay, it's fine. It's okay.
Paul, take your headphones off as well.
Okay, sure.
I just turn the mics up.
Okay, but anyway, for security we like that. But okay, we'll trust Paul.
No draws here.
Let's mute these guys. Let's mute these guys. There we go. Okay. No draw offers, guys, so the guys need to play it out. Mabu is trying to think of that Batsford's endgame theory, or is it Dvoreski's endgame theory?
Yeah.
Should be a relatively easy draw, but things happen. I remember losing an endgame Vero with 1 pawn versus 2 in a similar situation. I'm not going to name any names, but it was painful. So there's still some dangers.
I checked out this, actually the 4 versus 3 draw. I checked out at some stage.
Yeah.
And there's a bit of a trick to it that you also just need to know, and then it's fairly easy.
For instance,
so
now
Mabu knows that.
Mabu is hesitating about h4 there. The pawn could be. I would say don't commit too hard over there. Just move the rook. Yeah. It's a bit of torture here for white.
Because let me think quickly. I think if you have the f pawn still, then h4 is fine, right? h4.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But without it, it might be a bit.
Now black wants to play h4 himself, so now h4 seems kind of mandatory.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe rook a5.
I don't think it should be that difficult to draw here.
Should be okay, yeah. Should be okay. We throw in a check.
Yeah.
King g6, rook g5, check. King h6, rook f5 maybe. And then, I think what the guys should just do is repeat moves. That would be the best way. If both of them are satisfied and they start repeating, then it will be a draw.
Okay, so other than that.
Okay, King g4 is what's on Paul's mind right now. Can you imagine King g4, rook g5 check, king takes h4, rook takes g7, f3, g3 mate?
Yeah, something like that is possible though, but
just thinking of some extraordinary situations. So rook g5 check, and probably something like rook f5 looks solid.
Just go back to a5 and.
Why not rook f5?
Sorry?
Why not rook f5?
You still like to play for the win. Yeah, rook f5.
No, not for the win, just to force black's rook into passivity. Yeah, rook f5, rook b4, and then you move your king maybe, and not much that can happen here.
Yeah, sure.
King h3.
And then just repeat somehow. So that's fine.
But still, black can play g6. The rook goes away. And if black can get in rook's b3 check with the king on h3, then you get rook g3 and rook g4. So I don't know if you want to put your king on h3 here, but is f3 a threat here? Mabs finds a good way. Yeah, I like this. G3 is good. Swapping off more pawns. You're gonna put your rook on g5 maybe, or just keep the rank. Basically, there's nothing now that can happen. Yeah, that should be. Maybe the players will figure it out. They need to repeat, or maybe Paul hasn't had enough yet. Maybe Paul has still some ideas, some tricks.
Get onto the board, and he doesn't really have losing. He has almost zero chances of losing this, so why not?
Yeah. Nothing wrong with playing further. Pawn to g6, and he's inviting a king pawn endgame. That might be tricky for Mabs to handle. I guess the best move is rook f7 maybe. Because you play rook takes pawn, takes, king g7, and white might be in trouble over there. You get what I'm saying? Rook takes f4 might be a tremendous blunder.
Just checking it now to see if there's actual, like, yeah, it looks. It looks.
Rook takes f4. Am I missing something? Rook takes rook, pawn takes, king g7. I know sometimes you can give the pawn back in the right way, but after king g7, what happens?
Wait. When I should ask you that.
King g7, king g3, king f6.
Yeah, you're lucky you getting the live stream here. Otherwise, I would have asked you what's supposed to happen.
King g3 was just played. King f6 is being played. What do you do now? King f2. Yep. And white is just gonna wait for black to jump into f5. Let's repeat the moves, guys. Just repeat. Okay, king f5.
There's no way you can go around that pawn, right? And try to
king f6. Let's repeat. If you want it to end, let's repeat, guys. So this is also forcing the guys to show the technique, Vero. Maybe it might not be too clear for everybody. You know, when you see the top guys just draw early, then you're wondering, why was that a draw? Now we can actually see why.
Yeah, it's...
Whoa, what's this? Mabu wants to play king e3 here. What is this? King e3 played king f5? Okay, yeah, I'm seeing ghosts. Just king back. Yeah, okay, I'm seeing ghosts. I don't know. I'm getting tired.
I was wondering about king e6 if that is perhaps possible, but so maybe king e3 was directed at that.
Finally, repetition. That was interesting, yeah, but you just wait for distant opposition. And let's ask him to unmute.
Yeah.
Okay, Mabs, let's just get Paul back on. Paul needs to unmute. Paul, are you with us?
Yeah, sorry, Mabu. I wanted to try.
You're just enjoying yourself there.
You need to every once in a while. You must test the international master, Paul.
Okay.
Must test his theory.
Don't worry. I remember the is it Fioza against
King Pawn endgame.
Against cousin. It is the same thing.
It happens sometimes. So okay, tough game, guys. Crazy stuff. We thought at one stage that Mabu was looking good, and then Paul suddenly exploded, and then Mabu.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I like my knight on f5 too much, but because I could have sacked it somewhere, but I said, you know what? Let me just leave it for a while.
The h6 sexes were confusing because I was thinking if he takes with the dragon on h6, is it check or not? Because the bishop's on
No,
h7.
no,
it won't be
no,
check.
it's not
It won't
check.
be check.
It's not check. So.
Vero, do you
Yeah,
have
that
any
was
questions?
Rook c2 was a good move. I think you lost if you don't find rook c2. I never saw it, but it's a good move.
Yeah, but Paul, you were winning if you played rook
Yeah.
to e2, not bishop.
Rook e2, yeah, I was also
but-
asked in the chat. Rook e2 looked very strong.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
strong.
it just looks more forcing.
Yeah.
E4.
Vero, you have
Dragon.
anything on your mind? Any questions?
No, I'm pretty good. It's just
Okay.
The no draws thing. It's here we come to fight. It's not. We don't offer draws up in here.
Okay, right. Interesting
So,
stuff,
thank you.
guys. So Mabs, you
Thanks.
end up on 1.5. Paul, you're finally on the scoreboard. Well done. So
Yeah.
thanks so much,
He's
Paul.
now
It was
off the
great
mark.
having you on the show.
He's now off the mark, eh?
It was great,
Yeah.
guys, having you this
Okay, thank
weekend.
you.
So that's the last
Could've
day
won
for these
3.
guys. See you next
Okay.
time. We will be back with our last match soon, guys. Cheers.
Okay, sure. Bye.